comic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The heart's out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we ballin' out, yeah. I just gotta go hard. Go hard, go hard, go hard.
And here we go. If that music doesn't get you in the mood, Nico, nothing will. Welcome, one and all, to another edition of the iGaming Next Weekly News. First of all, of course, I must express my thanks to Playson for that fabulous music and for supporting us each and every week and keeping us ticking over here at Weekly News. And, of course, to Hub88, which also sponsors this podcast. I'm joined, as you can see, by the one and only inimitable Nico Jansen. It's the gruesome twosome back in action. Nico, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm happy. As of now, and as we already discussed during our little intro, Pierre has sent me, to the new center of gaming. So I'm the embedded and foreign correspondent here in the UAE in Dubai. So I have just a nice view to the Atlantis, the hotel. And yeah. So I'm just picking up all the rumors which are coming just across the new regulator in the UAE. But we will just touch down on this one during our awesome live stream, like always. How are you, Connor?
I'm very well indeed. I might start sweating throughout this podcast, and I apologize if I do. It's 31 degrees in London, which frankly is too hot and it's ruining everything. But always committed. We can't miss an episode, so here we are. And Nico, your dedication is astonishing, I must say. The week that we have the news about the UAE's new gambling regulator, you're straight out there in Dubai, live and direct, our foreign correspondent. Yeah. So it's great that you're so dedicated to Weekly News, and thank you. Let's say hello to Sesha and to everyone at Lauta Media in the group. In the chat there on the side, Elizabeth, our producer in the background, is saying hello to everybody as well. I've mentioned UAE there. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes, Nico. But first of all, your triumphant return to Weekly News. I don't think it would be the same if we didn't have our perfect feature, 10 in 5. What do you think? Have you got some stories for us?
Yeah, I got some stories for you. And just getting back to the UAE thing. So maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe someone forced them to release the news on Monday. Or like Kanye always puts it, I guess we never find out. So getting back to the 10 and 5, and Hello Katie as well. So Spain is about to consider a cross-operator deposit limit as public consultation begins. So the legislation proposed by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs and approved in March outlines a cross-operator system of deposit limits for online gambling and a centralized monitoring system that will track player activity across licensed operators in order to make the limits enforceable. It's pretty much the same which you already have in Germany. It's called Lugas. Where you can actually see how much a customer already spent on other licensed entity as well. Works perfect. Only thing it actually forces is it is forcing people to actually join the black market. So welcome Spain to literally pushing players into the black markets as well. So Better Collective acquires first Brazilian brand torcedores.com. So Better Collective has finalized its acquisition on national Brazilian sports media platform torcedores.com or as Simon Hovland Stilling, the CEO of Better Collective South America, said, South America, and more specifically Brazil, is an important growth driver for Better Collective and fits perfectly with our vision of becoming the leading digital sports media group in that area. And Connor, as the both of us know, so we had been enlightened by the Three Musketeers when we did the Brazil special, and I'm pretty sure Brazil will take over. Now we already see the first move of Fanatics, as they are offering gaming. They are offering jersey promotions to new customers in the US. So while the regular sports betting website just offer bonuses and additional money to spend, the operator Fanatics announced their jersey drop promotion. So new clients of Fanatics Sportsbook or PointsBet US are eligible for the incentive. So everybody who signs up for Fanatics Sportsbook on iOS, Android, PointsBet on iOS and Android, will be able between September 1st and September 18th on opt-in to the Fanatics jersey drop promotion. And they need to place a single cash wager of $50 and that with an odd of at least 1.2. And then they receive a reward credit to purchase team merchandise worth up to $150 on fanatics.com. So quite interesting how they are handling this one. And I'm pretty sure we will see additional moves as well. Staying in the US, as New York City downstate casino projects finally get some answers from the New York regulator, or to be more precise, 613 questions have been answered as the New York Gaming Facility Location Board released a 103-page document containing answers to the first round of questions from potential applicants interested in one of the three available licenses. Just to get the picture right, we are speaking about one of the three possible licenses which will be able to open up a casino as the most prestigious probably place on earth, Times Square. And I'm pretty sure this will put a smile on Connor's face for the next iGaming next New York, when he will be able just to walk into a casino from Times Square. Still staying in the US, as Sportradar receives a temporary sports wagering license for Kentucky. And this marks the 47th license Sportradar holds for US jurisdictions, including state, territories, tribes, and Canadian markets. Now, Boom Entertainment acquires NBC Prediction app. So the New York-based sports betting and online casino operator Boom Entertainment is acquiring NBC Sports Predictor from Comcast. And Murphy added that NBC Sports and Boom will continue to look for opportunities to collaborate on future gaming projects. Or to quote him, over the last several years, NBC Sports Predictor has been a key asset for NBC Sports as it utilized the product to increase audience engagement. Heading over to some numbers, as Playtech has just released their H1 results, and they declared a record of H1 2023 performance, with adjusted EBITDA increasing by 10% up to 290.9 million euros, and a total group revenue up to 8% to 860 million euros as well. Now heading over to your country, Connor, it's Elwin and UK lotteries. Although Elwin is not yet operating UK lotteries, they reported a 115% year-on-year increase in revenue, or in numbers, 2.05 billion euros, and they will start operating the UK lotteries by February 2024. And I'm pretty sure that we will be looking at even more increasable numbers by then as well. Just 2 more to go as Betson eyes on acquisition after they issued a 75 million bond, which will give them quite a lot of free money or cash to spend. And last but not least, the Victorian Gambling and Casino Control Commission has fined Tabcorp a record of 1 million Australian dollars over its conduct during a major system outage in 2020. And just to pick you up where we all standing, this left the service unavailable for approximately 36 hours. And besides this, they had been missing some deadlines when asked to provide documents and proof. So the overall fine is not just based on the service had not been available for 36 hours straight, but they obviously did not cooperate in a role model way with the regulator as well. And these are my 10 and 5.
Well done, Nico. I think you only went over by 5 or 6 minutes there, so pretty good for you. Yeah, it turns out it's been quite a busy week, hasn't it? We've only got 2 main stories to discuss in detail today, but there's a lot going on there. Yeah, pretty good results for Playtech. Allwyn looking great. Obviously been able to pretty much double their revenue, or more than double their revenue, thanks to the acquisition of Camelot, which is the current operator of the UK lottery. So yes, lots to think about. But before we go into our main topic, let's say hello to Monica and to Nico, who joins us, and to Lars in Sweden, and Michelle. And Katie Di Stefano reckons that a casino, land-based casino, is very unlikely for Times Square. I've never been to Coney Island, but believe me, I have spent some time in Times Square, and I think it's probably the best place in the world for a casino. I think it would be just great, but let's see what happens. One place that may have a land-based casino in the next few years, of course, Nico, is where you're reporting from right now as our foreign correspondent in Dubai. So our main story this week, the United Arab Emirates has created a federal authority to regulate commercial gaming. So it's just another step on the path towards regulated land-based casino and lotteries. There was no mention of online gambling in the release that we got from the Emirates news agency earlier this week. So online gambling doesn't look very likely, but certainly land-based does seem to be coming. So the government in the UAE is going to create the General Commercial Gaming Regulatory Authority. That's a catchy title, isn't it? Or the GCGRA, even catchier. That has pledged to introduce a world-leading regulatory framework for national lottery and commercial gaming, which would, of course, make it the first Gulf state, the first country out in the Middle East, in the Gulf there, to legalize land-based casino gambling. Of course, most of those countries are Muslim countries, and Islam is very strict about prohibiting gambling. But obviously the Dubai and the UAE government is becoming a lot friendlier to the international community over recent years. It's becoming very business friendly, very tourism heavy. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Nico, you're over there on the ground. What's your first initial response to this story this week?
Yeah, first of all, it's quite interesting, right? But if you not just read between the lines, but actually speak to people, right? I just need to get my words right. So speak to people. So the regulatory board, which has been built, first of all, represents 2 veterans from Las Vegas. So it's Kevin Mullally and Jim Murren, who are well known in our industry, especially in the casino space. So more the retail part of business. So they will lead this regulatory body. Although the regulatory body sits on top of everything, each and every of the 7 Emirates is still able to decide whether to follow that path or not to follow that path, right? So, as you already mentioned, we have a roughly 3.9 billion project by Win in Ras Al Khaimah, which is one of the 7 Emirates, or just to pick each and everybody of you up a little bit. So these 7 Emirates are represented by, first of all, the most wealthy one, it's Dubai. Abu Dhabi, then Dubai, then we have Sharjah, we have Ayman, UAE, Fursha, and Ras Al Khaimah, which is the most northern one of these 7 Emirates. So, as already mentioned, Ras Al Khaimah will be hosting the Wynn Casino, and the people I was speaking to. So just a couple of months ago, 3 to 4 months ago, the idea has been of retail casinos has been pitched to the Sheikh of Dubai, and he refused to allow gaming in Dubai. So probably we won't see Queen Elizabeth II, which is the big ship, being tied here in Dubai since almost a decade, if I'm not mistaken. And they are waiting, desperately waiting for a casino to actually being allowed, because then they can just open up the gates and people will come in and use the fully equipped Queen Elizabeth II ship to actually play. So there are several other rumors going around. We don't know any details as of now, but funny enough, there are already rumors going around that a license to operate a casino here in the UAE will cost 2 million dirham, which is roughly 500,000 euros. And as said, nobody knows. But there are some of the fake people here in Dubai already running around selling licenses where nobody knows how much it actually costs. I'm pretty sure there will be not 613 questions sending out to the regulator with their fancy names, but for sure we will see something. As of now, they are just establishing the overall regulator, and we will see if they are following the path of any well-established regulator, which we have already, especially in the European Union.
Yeah, great summary, and very interesting to hear what's happening on the ground over there, Nico. It's interesting to me what you mentioned about Dubai specifically, because as we mentioned, we've got the Wynn Resorts property under construction in Ras Al Khaimah. We'll come to that in a minute. But in Dubai, Caesars Entertainment, I believe, already has an integrated resort called Caesars Palace Dubai. Crucially, of course, there's no gaming floor there, but Caesars is one of the world's biggest casino operators. In addition to the Caesars Palace, MGM Resorts is currently building a resort in Dubai, which when they first announced, which was a few years ago now, they said it would not have gaming facilities. Now that this discussion is coming a bit more into the mainstream, I was having a look at their Q1 earnings call from earlier this year, and Bill Hornbuckle, the CEO, of course, of MGM Resorts International, commented on this resort. There happens to be 150,000 to 200,000 square feet of space that could be converted into a gaming floor. There happens to be. It's just a coincidence, but it happens to be there. So MGM, if Dubai is able to regulate and offer casino licenses, MGM happens to be able to capitalize on that, which is a very happy coincidence, I'm sure. But I think it's possible, you know, thinking about it, who's made the smartest move here? So Caesars builds its resort in Dubai, MGM starts building its resort, and then Wynn very cleverly comes into Ras Al Khaimah, much smaller emirate, a much smaller area, I think, but in terms of its prosperity compared to Dubai. I think it's the 6th largest city or emirate in the UAE, so it's not one of those top billers, but it is a rapidly growing one. It's getting more popular in terms of tourism and business and so on. And I think we have a picture somewhere, if Elizabeth in the background could show this picture of the proposed resort at Ras Al Khaimah. It looks very nice, Nico. There's space there, little marina for you to park your super yacht. Looks like a little private beach, a nice big tower, a bit of this, a bit of that. And I think it's one of those, it's obviously going to be a very different experience. Thanks for that, Elizabeth. Obviously a very different proposition building an integrated resort somewhere like the UAE, where you have that luxury of space as compared to somewhere like Times Square, where you resolutely do not. But who knows? I think in time, these resorts could easily come to rival properties like the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, which is currently, I would say, considered more or less the world leader in terms of facilities and so on for an integrated resort. What do you think, Nico? When you visit UAE, would you like to be able to go and see a resort like that?
So, first of all, a casino, a retail casino, never caught me, right? So I don't like the sound, I don't like the lightning, I don't like the smell. So it's never been something where I was like, oh, okay, if you ever hit the grounds in Las Vegas, this is the place to be. This is so awesome. I like the entertainment factor for sure. You see one of the world's leading entertainers packed into one place, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But for sure, I will not be traveling to Ras Al Khaimah just to experience or in other words, I will not fly into Dubai to enter the MGM or Caesars resort, which built by coincidence. We never know why, but it happens to be there happens to be like 200 to 250,000 square meters, which could cater slots machine, etc. Right, so this will for sure not tick a box why I decide to ride my camel from Dubai City over to one of these resorts, pretty much.
But if Barry Manilow or Westlife set up a residency at one of these resorts, then maybe it would be worth the trip, I guess. Yeah. So there was some interesting commentary from the Telegraph, which suggested that Dubai may become the Las Vegas of the Middle East. And it's kind of interesting in the current context of what's happening in the football world. I'm no football expert, but even I haven't escaped this one. Lots of top flight players moving to Saudi Arabia to play for the teams there. And the money involved, obviously, is a great determining factor in all of that. And I suspect one big concern for these operators opening in UAE is going to be getting the entertainment proposition right. As you rightly point out, Nico, not everybody is interested in, in gambling per se, but most people like world-class entertainment, world-class restaurants, and so on. And I'm sure there's lots of that already in the UAE. And this is an opportunity for even more. Do we have anything else to discuss? We do, actually. There's one more thing we should point out, which is the size of the opportunity here. So we've got some analysis from Bloomberg Intelligence. So gaming analyst Angela Hanley at Bloomberg Intelligence believes that the UAE could generate $6.6 billion in gaming revenue annually, which means it has the potential to surpass Singapore. So that would make it, I guess, probably the third largest land-based casino market globally, behind, of course, Macau and Las Vegas. That would, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's certainly up there, isn't it? What does Vegas generate from casinos? 12 billion a year, something like that.
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Yeah, and then Macau's like 100 billion or something crazy. All those. I don't know what happens. Yeah. But yeah, so that's a mega opportunity for the local economy, and that's obviously being driven by increases in tourism and its attractiveness as a wealth haven is what it said in Bloomberg. I suppose that's why you're there too, Nico. You can take your suitcases full of money and stash them under the bed in Dubai, and you know that no one's going to come a knocking.
Exactly. Or just to put some things a little bit into perspective as well. You know, when you want to buy a lottery ticket in the UK, all win as of now, Camelot. You just go into a shop, buy a lottery ticket. There you go. Take your numbers. All good, all perfect. Nothing to worry about. So they established a lottery body here in Dubai already back in 2020, which was called Emirates Lotto. Then the Sheikh realized, no gaming under my watch. So that's why they changed the name from Emirates Lotto back to Mazus. And you can buy a lottery ticket. Not directly, but it happens to be also a coincidence. If you buy a bottle of water for 35 dirham, you get a free lottery ticket out of a sudden. And then, you have a chance to actually win up to 20 million dirham, which is roughly 5 million euros. And this is what a lot of the tourists and or people actually working here to cater all the super rich while they're enjoying life within their villas, and I'm just giving them a wink. There you go. And I'm just here with you, Connor, and all the awesome other boys and girls, and sharing the latest and greatest of our industry. And if you want to read the overall news, don't forget to read the full story on your top left corner, which is a great feature by iGaming Next as well.
Quite right. Thank you, Nico. And yes, you make an excellent point. As we mentioned right at the top of this story, the point of the introduction of this gambling regulator is not only casinos, but also a national lottery. So that's another topic to consider, certainly. Ed asks us in the chat, do we have any idea if and when license applications can be processed? The short answer, Ed, is no, we don't. But the long answer is that Wynn and its plans for Ras Al Khaimah appears to know what it's doing. And it's expected to open in 2026. So my suspicion, if I were a betting man, which I am, I suspect that Wynn will want to operate gaming as soon as that resort opens. I also know building projects always take longer than expected. So if I were betting over under, I'd say before 2028. That would be my guess. What do you think, Nico? Sound fair?
Sounds fair. Yeah, 2028, 2027. Because in the end, and me being German born and breed. So as soon as it comes to, building projects, we unfortunately tend to extend each and everything. Just building an airport in our capital took us more than 20 years, while it took him here in Dubai only a couple of months to actually establish one of the biggest airports all over the world. So I'm pretty sure, and this is what you pointed out, as soon as Wynn Resorts will open up or will open the gates, latest in 2028, they will operate in a fully licensed way. So this is at least the latest stage where we will see licenses being given out.
Yeah. Good point. So one quick side note before we move on to our next story. Katie recommends that we do iGaming Next Dubai 2025. Let's wait and see. We'll pitch that to Pierre and see what he thinks. And Brandy, for some reason, seems to think that Nico's hair is better than mine. There's no accounting for taste. But Nico, the fans want to know, what do you put in that barnet? What have you got in there? Pomade?
Yeah. No. Sometimes you just need to keep the secrets, right? And sometimes just better to know not, right? So, but Brandy, be assured, next time the both of us will meet live and in person, I will show you how my hair looks like this all the time.
It's pomade, the same thing Elvis used to use. Okay, there we go. The next topic. Moving swiftly on from Nico's hair, we are going to talk about steak. not the meat. We're talking about the online crypto casino operator stake.com. Because, Nico, as you will have heard, I'm sure, on Monday, Stake was forced to suspend all deposits and withdrawals after hackers stole more than $40 million worth of cryptocurrency. So Web3 security analyst Cyvers, Cyvers, I don't know, Cyvers. It's an AI detection software designed to prevent this kind of thing from happening. Alerted Stake to multiple suspicious-looking transactions in a tweet. So that's how the international world of cybercrime and so on reporting works now. You just tweet the victim and say, "Oh, you've had $40 million stolen, by the way." And Stake says, "Oh, okay, thank you, Brandy. There you go." She brings it back. She says, "I also have epic hair." Well, thank you very much indeed for noticing. Although I did push you to point that out. Yes, Stake has confirmed that unauthorized withdrawals were made from its Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain hot wallets. I don't know about you, Nico. I didn't know what a hot wallet was before today, so I had to look it up. Hot and cold wallets are the primary means of storing and exchanging cryptocurrencies and tokens. Hot wallets are internet-enabled and online, while cold wallets are offline and come in the form of a physical device, such as a USB stick. And I'm reminded of a story here in the UK where somebody lost a USB stick once with something like £20 million worth of bitcoins on, and he was very sad, which makes sense. So there you go. It was a hot wallet. Stake had enough cash on hand to just refund the customers and put it all back where it was and carry on operating. So that's okay, I suppose. 16 million was stolen from the Ethereum network and up to 26 million across Polygon and BSC. We had a tweet here in the background somewhere from someone who obviously understands this in more detail than I do, which will just help to break down those numbers. So there you have it. That's from Biosyn Alerts. They're also a kind of Web3 alerting service that, yes, tries to avoid this kind of thing happening. But there you go. Millions of dollars missing. And there you go. Thank you very much for that, Elizabeth. So despite the security breach, Stake guaranteed its users that funds had been kept safe. None of the customers lost any money, I don't believe. And all user activity was suspended amid an internal investigation. But I think everything's back up and running now. And one of the employees from Stake told iGaming Next, one of my colleagues, that it was a crazy night. Well, I think anyone who loses $41 million in one night would say that's probably a fair description. What do you think about all this, Nico?
Yeah, so after the accident of FTX, there's always something coming up with the cryptocurrencies and all the wallets and trading places, whatever. I've never heard any news that, oh my gosh, Bet365 has been hacked and there are 42 million pounds and or euros in customer value missing, or William Hill, you name him, 888, whatever. This doesn't happen. But for, the cryptocurrencies, okay, no worries. $42 million missing, no worries. We got it covered, blah, 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 blah. Hey, mate, this is a serious incident, right? So people actually trust these services. And I'm just missing out on the fact that, there's no literally bullshitting going on with stake.com. It's like, okay, this sometimes happens. This doesn't happen in the gaming space, to be honest and to be fair, right? And we are stigmatized in a way worse way than any of the cryptocurrencies. So we will just see how it actually works out and how it looks out. But as of now, it just seems like people are getting along with this one. Like, okay, sometimes this happens, $42 million. Just move on and just, have another cup of tea, and that's all good.
Yes, it's the cost of doing business, I suppose. According to CoinDesk, more than $3.7 billion worth of crypto was lost to hacks and security exploits last year. So yes, I think you're probably right. But then the question is, outside gaming and in every other sector, and looking at cybercrime and online fraud and so on, how much regular currency was stolen? Probably a lot more than 3.7 billion.
Yeah.
So it's quite a difficult one to quantify, really, I suppose. But yes, certainly an interesting story and one to keep an eye out for, because obviously, if there is any vulnerability in stake systems, then nefarious actors are going to exploit that to the full extent possible. So there you go. Well, that was our second story for today. We kept it short and sweet, Nico, because there's just the two of us here. We wouldn't want to overstay our welcome. Shearer points out quite rightly that it is a damage to stakes reputation and reliability. Absolutely, yes. We'll see, or maybe we won't see, because nobody knows exactly how much money they make. But we'll see if public opinion starts to shift against operators like Stake, and if it has a wider impact on the cryptocurrency world more broadly. Not something I'm involved with directly, Nico. Have you got any Bitcoins or anything like this?
No.
No, me neither. I just like, good old regular paper money, and that'll do for me.
At least none of us, unfortunately, threw away like a USB stick containing 8,000 bitcoins and trying to search the dump in Ireland to actually find it. And this was the story you were coming up in the first place. So sometimes you just see the Irishman literally, standing on top of a dump hill and just trying to get his USB stick back. Of course, this USB stick is worth a 3-digit millions in US dollar or euros, however you want to put it, multiply 8,000 bitcoins by the actual price. And I'm pretty sure you're coming close on how much pain this guy is suffering. That's probably the most expensive dump ever.
Yes, it's worse than losing the winning Euro Millions ticket. So pretty bad. Pretty bad. Well, Nico, I think that rounds us off nicely. Is there anything else you want to say today before we log off?
No, I'm good, and thank you once again for each and everybody tuning in and enlighten us with the comments. It's always fun having you around and making it more viable and viral, etc. So it's all good. Thank you for having me once again, and I'm just looking forward to get things going here in the UAE. So if you need anything to be sorted out here, just drop me a message. It's all good, and I will make sure all of your final thoughts and whatever you want to get solved and done will be done and will be taken care of.
Good man, Nico. Thanks again for joining us. You're quite right. Everybody commenting and getting involved in the discussion. You guys keep these sessions alive every week. We're signing off with some advice from Brandy about how people should protect their digital assets. Absolutely right. Rory Credland, I think he's found the video for us about the 150 million Bitcoin losers. Thank you for that, Rory. What was I going to say? Yes, well, Nico, I hope you enjoy all the world-class hospitality that Dubai has to offer. I hope they're treating you nicely out there. I'm sure they will. And all that leaves for me to say is thank you once again to Place and for Hub 88 for keeping us going here at Weekly News. It's our pleasure to be with you every week. And we'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.